The storm was unlike any Lily Harper had ever seen. Lightning flashed across the sky every few seconds, and the thunder shook her small cabin in the Montana woods. Rain pounded on the roof so hard that she wondered if it might break through. Lily sat by her fireplace with a book in her hands, but she wasn't reading anymore. The storm had her full attention. Lily was an astronomy professor who studied stars and planets. She came to this cabin to be alone after her boyfriend left her, for someone else. The pain still felt fresh after 3 months. Here, far from people and city lights, she could see the stars better than anywhere else. But tonight the clouds hid everything. The wind howled outside, making the trees bend and creak. Lily pulled her blanket tighter around her shoulders. The lights flickered, and she glanced at the emergency lantern she had ready on the table. Living alone in the woods meant being prepared for power outages. Something about this storm felt wrong. The lightning wasn't just bright, it had strange colors, sometimes blue, sometimes almost purple. And the thunder didn't sound right either. It had a pattern, almost like it was trying to say something. Lily walked to the window and looked out. The rain made it hard to see much, but for a second, she thought she saw something large moving between the trees. Probably just a tree branch falling, she told herself. Then came the knock. At first, Lily thought it was just more thunder or a branch hitting the cabin. But then it came again, 3 clear knocks on her front door. Who would be out in a storm like this? Her nearest neighbor was 5 miles away. Lily hesitated. Living alone had taught her to be careful. But what if someone needed help? She grabbed her phone and the baseball bat she kept by the door, just in case. "Who's there?" she called out. No answer came, but the knocking happened again, weaker this time. Slowly, Lily opened the door, keeping the bat ready. What she saw made her drop both the bat and her phone. A woman stood there, but unlike any woman Lily had ever seen. She was tall, at least 6.5 feet, with skin that seemed to change colors like oil on water. Her face was almost human, but too perfect, with high cheekbones and a straight nose. Her eyes were what really showed she wasn't human. They were completely black with tiny silver dots that looked like stars. The strange woman wasn't wet, despite standing in the pouring rain. "Please," the woman said. Her voice sounded like music, with tones that human voices couldn't make. "They're hunting me. I need shelter. I'll pay any price." Behind her, partly hidden by trees and darkness, Lily saw something huge, a smooth metal shape that looked nothing like any vehicle from Earth. Before Lily could speak or move, the woman's perfect face twisted in pain. She fell forward, and Lily caught her without thinking. Something wet and blue soaked into Lily's shirt where she held the woman. Blood, but not red blood. Blue blood. "Help me," the woman whispered, her star-filled eyes looking straight into Lily's. "Please. They'll kill me, and then they'll come for your world next." Lily's mind raced. This couldn't be happening. Aliens weren't real. But the woman in her arms was definitely not human, and she was bleeding. "Come inside," Lily said, surprising herself. She helped the woman to the couch, trying not to look at the blue blood now covering both of them. The storm grew even stronger outside. The woman looked at the ceiling as if she could see through it. "They're getting closer," she said. "The storm isn't natural. They use it to track me." "Who's they?" Lily asked, trying to stay calm. "And who are you?" "My name—" "The closest sound in your language would be Nix," the woman said. "I'm a sentinel from the star system you call HD 4307, and they are the Void Collective, hunters, destroyers of worlds." Lily shook her head. "This is crazy. You're saying you're an alien? From another planet?" Nix nodded. "I know this is difficult for you to accept, but we don't have much time." She touched her side where the blue blood was coming from. "I have a medical kit in my ship, but I can't go back out there right now. The hunter-seekers will find me." Lily walked to the window again and looked out. The strange lights in the sky weren't lightning. They were moving in patterns, searching. "What do they want from you?" Lily asked, turning back to Nix. "Information I stole. Plans for a weapon they want to use against planets like yours." Nick said. She tried to sit up but fell back in pain. Your world isn't supposed to meet other life forms yet. You're not ready. But the collective doesn't care about rules or proper first contact. They only want resources. Lily's scientist mind was finally catching up with what her eyes were seeing. An actual alien was bleeding on her couch. Proof that humans weren't alone in the universe was right in front of her. Tell me what you need, Lily said. How can I help? Nix looked surprised, then relieved. First, we need to stop the bleeding, then we need to hide my energy signature. The storm will block it somewhat, but not for long. Energy signature? Like radiation? Lily asked, worried. Nothing dangerous. To you, Nix assured her. But it's like a beacon to their sensors. She pointed to a small device on her wrist. This can help, but it's damaged. I need tools to fix it. Lily nodded and went to get her toolbox. As she walked to the kitchen, she saw bright lights sweep across her yard through the window. Not flashlights, something else, something searching. They're here, Nix said quietly from the couch. The hunter-seekers. Small drones that find targets for the collective ships. A cold fear ran down Lily's spine. This was real. All of it was real. She returned to Nix with the tools. Tell me what to do. As Nix started explaining which tools she needed, a loud crash of thunder shook the cabin. But Lily knew now it wasn't thunder. It was something else entirely. The storm outside grew worse. The lights in the cabin went out, leaving only the fire and Nix's faintly glowing skin to see by. We don't have much time, Nix said, her star-filled eyes reflecting the firelight. They'll find us soon, and when they do, they won't just take me. They'll mark this whole area for harvesting. Harvesting what? Lily asked, though she feared she already knew the answer. Everything, Nix replied. Resources, technology, biological samples. She paused. People. Lily looked at the alien woman on her couch, at the strange ship partly visible through the trees, and at the unnatural storm that wasn't a storm at. All in just minutes, her entire view of the universe had changed forever. And now it seemed she had to help save it. Lily helped Nix sit up on the couch. The blue blood was still flowing from the wound in her side. With shaking hands, Lily pressed a clean towel against it. This won't be enough, Nix said. I need something from my ship. The Asteria. Your ship has a name? Lily asked. All ships have names, Nix replied as if this was obvious. The Asteria has been my home for 12 Earth years. A loud beeping sound came from the device on Nix's wrist. She looked at it with worry. The hunter-seekers are getting closer. They're scanning for my energy pattern. Nix tried to stand but fell back in pain. I need to reach my ship. There's a medical unit there that can heal this wound. Lily looked out the window again. Strange floating objects moved between the trees. They were about the size of basketballs but shaped like stars with many points. Each one glowed with a sickly green light. Are those the hunter-seekers? Lily asked. Nix nodded. They won't hurt you directly. They're just looking for me. But if they find me, they'll call the harvest ships. Lily made a quick decision. Tell me what to get from your ship. I'll go. Nix looked surprised. You would do that? For someone not of your world? You need help, Lily said simply. And it sounds like we all need you to stay alive. For a moment, Nix was quiet. Then she removed a small silver disc from her wristband and handed it to Lily. This will let you enter the Asteria. Look for a blue box with symbols that look like waves. Bring it back here. Lily put on her rain jacket and boots. She took a deep breath and opened the door. The rain hit her face immediately, cold and heavy. Lightning, or what looked like lightning, flashed overhead. Keeping low and moving from tree to tree, Lily made her way toward the strange ship. The hunter-seekers floated around, their green scanning beams sweeping the forest floor. The ship was bigger than Lily had thought. Up close, it was about the size of a small bus, but shaped like a teardrop. Its surface wasn't metal exactly. It seemed to flow and move slightly like it was alive. Lily held up the silver disc as Nix had instructed. A section of the ship's side simply disappeared, showing an entrance. Lily climbed inside quickly. The inside of the Asteria was both strange and beautiful. Soft lights came on as she entered. There were no sharp edges anywhere. Everything curved smoothly into everything else. The walls seemed to pulse gently like they were breathing. Following Nix's directions, Lily found the medical area and the blue box with wave symbols. As she picked it up, a screen on the wall lit up, showing the area around the ship. The hunter-seekers were moving closer. Lily hurried back to the entrance. Just as she was about to leave, something caught her eye. A small room off to the side with what looked like star maps on the walls. One map was flashing, showing a path from a star she didn't recognize to Earth. No time to look closer now. Lily slipped out of the ship and back into the storm. The entrance closed behind her, the ship's surface becoming solid again. A hunter-seeker floated just 30 feet away, its green beam scanning the ground. Lily froze behind a tree, holding her breath. The hunter-seeker moved closer, then suddenly changed direction and moved away. Lily ran back to the cabin, the blue box held tight against her chest. She burst through the door, soaking wet and breathing hard. Nix looked worse. Her skin had lost its shifting colors and now looked pale gray. Her star-filled eyes were dim. "I got it," Lily said, handing over the box. Nix opened it with weak hands. Inside was a device that looked like a small silver spider. Nix placed it directly on her wound. The spider's legs moved, digging into her skin. Lily winced, but Nix didn't show pain. The spider began to glow blue, the same color as Nix's blood. After a minute, it fell off, now dark and lifeless. The wound was closed, leaving only a faint silver line. "Thank you," Nix said, her voice stronger. "You saved my life." "What was that thing?" Lily asked. "A medical unit. It fixes damaged tissue and stops infection." Nix sat up properly now. "Your help was unexpected. Most species would fear someone like me." "Oh, I'm definitely afraid," Lily admitted with a small smile. "But that doesn't mean I shouldn't help." Nix's eyes brightened. "You're different from what I expected. The reports about humans are not always kind." Before Lily could ask what reports, the cabin lights flickered and went out completely. Even the fire in the fireplace dimmed, as if something was pulling the oxygen away. "They're deploying atmospheric disruptors," Nix said urgently. "They know I'm here." "What do we do?" Lily asked. Nix stood up, looking much stronger now. "I need to explain everything to you, quickly. Then we need to make a plan." She walked to the window and looked out at the hunter-seekers, which were now moving in a clear pattern, closing in on the cabin. "I am a sentinel," Nix began. "We protect developing worlds from forces like the Void Collective. The Collective searches for planets with rich resources but limited defenses. Like Earth," Lily said. "Yes. Your world is at a critical point. Advanced enough to be useful, not advanced enough to defend itself against collective technology." "So why are they hunting you specifically?" Lily asked. Nix turned back from the window. "Because I stole something very valuable from them." She touched a hidden pocket in her suit and pulled out a crystal the size of a thumb. It glowed with shifting colors, much like Nix's skin. "This contains plans for their newest weapon, a star destabilizer. They want to use it to threaten developing worlds into surrendering their resources." Nix held the crystal carefully. "With this, the Federation, my people, can create defenses against it." "And that's worth killing you for?" Lily asked. "That's worth destroying this entire region for," Nix corrected. "The Collective doesn't care about individual lives." A loud humming sound came from outside, making the windows vibrate. Nix tensed. "Their main scout ship is entering the atmosphere," she said. "We have maybe an hour before they locate us precisely." "Candy, you get back to your ship and leave?" Lily asked. "Get that crystal to your people?" Nix shook her head. "The Asteria was damaged when I escaped their main vessel. It needs at least 8 more hours to repair itself. And even if I could leave, the Collective would still harvest this area. They've already marked it." Lily tried to process what this meant. "So they'll still come even if you're gone? They'll still take people?" "Yes, they would start with a 50-mile radius from this point." Nix placed a hand on Lily's shoulder. I'm sorry I brought this to your home. Lily's mind raced. There must be something we can do. Nyx was quiet for a moment, her star eyes looking at something far away. Then she focused back on Lily. There is one possibility, but it's never been tried with a human before, Nyx said slowly. A biological merge. A what? Lily asked. A temporary joining of our life signatures. It would mask my energy pattern by blending it with yours. The hunter-seekers wouldn't be able to tell us apart from any other life form. Is that safe? Lily asked. I don't know, Nyx admitted. Our species are different, but there are surprising similarities in our brain patterns. It would last about 2 days, enough time for my ship to finish repairs. And what happens during this merge? Our minds would connect. We would share some thoughts, some memories. Nothing complete, just fragments. Nyx looked serious. There is risk. If our patterns are too different, it could hurt both of us. The humming outside grew louder. A bright light passed over the cabin, shining through the windows and briefly, lighting up everything inside. We're out of time, Nyx said. The scout ship is directly overhead. Soon they'll send down collectors, not just hunter-seekers. Lily took a deep breath. Everything happening was beyond anything she had ever imagined, but the fear in Nyx's eyes looked very human. How do we do this merge? She asked. Relief washed over Nyx's face. You're sure? No, Lily said honestly. But I'm sure I don't want to see what happens if we do nothing. Nyx nodded. She took the small silver disc she had given Lily earlier and placed it against her own temple. It stuck there, glowing softly. I need to put one on you as well, Nyx said, pulling out a second disc. This will create the connection between us. Lily brushed her hair aside, exposing her temple. Her heart was racing. Will it hurt? Only for a moment, Nyx said, placing the disc against Lily's skin. It felt cold at first, then warm. Now what? Lily asked. Now we wait, Nyx said. The discs will start the process. When they both turn blue, the merge will begin. They sat in silence as the storm raged outside and strange lights moved through the trees. The silver discs slowly changed color, becoming more blue with each passing minute. Lily, Nyx said quietly, thank you for helping me. Whatever happens next, know that you've done something few beings in the universe would dare to do. Before Lily could answer, both discs flashed bright blue. A sensation like an electric current ran from Lily's head down her spine. She gasped. Not from pain, but from the sudden rush of foreign thoughts entering her mind. Images flashed behind her eyes. A city built inside the rings of a giant planet. A room filled with beings that looked like Nyx, but with different colored skin. A battle. Between ships in the darkness of space, the merge had begun. The merge felt like a river flowing between two lakes. Thoughts, feelings, and memories moved from Nyx to Lily and back again. It wasn't like talking. It was deeper, more direct. Lily saw flashes of Nyx's life, and she knew Nyx was seeing parts of hers too. Lily saw a planet with 3 moons. She saw Nyx as a child, training with other young sentinels. She felt the loneliness of space travel, years spent alone in the Asteria with only computer voices for company. This is amazing, Lily whispered, her eyes closed as the images flowed. Your mind is bright, Nyx replied. So curious, so many questions about the stars. Lily smiled. Of course her alien visitor would notice her love of astronomy first. Can feel how far you've traveled, Lily said. So many worlds. 57 planets with intelligent life, Nyx confirmed. Each one unique. A sudden, sharp memory cut through. Nyx fighting against 3 gray-skinned beings on a ship much larger than the Asteria. Nyx was wounded, bleeding blue, but she managed to reach a control panel and steal the crystal. The Void Collective, Nyx explained, sensing Lily's question. That was 3 days ago. I've been running ever since. The merge deepened. Lily felt herself understanding things she shouldn't know. How Nyx's ship worked. What stars were in the Federation's territory. The languages of a dozen alien species. Is this normal? Lily asked. For me to learn so much? No, Nix admitted, sounding surprised. The merge is usually just surface thoughts and emotions. You're absorbing knowledge. This is unprecedented. Outside, the storm had changed. The rain still fell, but the wind had stopped completely. The hunter-seekers floated in place, their green scanning beams sweeping back and forth but finding nothing unusual. It's working, Nick said. They can't detect my energy signature anymore. It's mixed with yours now. Through the window, Lily could see a larger shape hovering above the trees. The scout ship. It was flat and wide, like a dark metal pancake with lights around the edges. How long will the merge last? Lily asked. About 48 hours, Nix replied. Long enough for the Asteria to complete repairs. Another wave of memories washed over Lily. Nix standing before a council of beings, receiving her mission to monitor the Void Collective's movements. Nix watching Earth from orbit for months before the Collective detected her ship. Nix's fascination with human music and art, which she had studied from captured broadcasts. You know a lot about us, Lily observed. Earth has been of special interest to the Federation for centuries, Nix explained. Your species develops quickly but unevenly. Some of your technology is surprisingly advanced while other areas lag behind. Lily suddenly frowned as a darker memory surfaced. Nix receiving a report that Earth had been marked as a potential harvest site long before she stole the crystal. You didn't bring them here, Lily said. They were already coming. Nix's face showed sadness. Yes. I couldn't tell you at first. I was afraid you wouldn't help me. When? Lily asked. When were they planning to come? Within 5 years, Nix answered. But now, because of me, they'll begin with this area immediately. Lily stood and walked to the window looking at the scout ship. How many people are on that ship? Maybe 20 collectors plus automated systems, Nix said. The main harvest fleet would have thousands. And they're here because of the crystal you took? Nix nodded. The star destabilizer plans. With it, they could threaten any system, including those under Federation protection. Through their connection, Lily felt Nix's determination. The crystal was worth any cost, any risk. It could save billions of lives across many worlds. What if we could send a message to your people? Lily suggested. Tell them where you are? The Asteria has been trying, Nix said, but the Collective is blocking all transmissions, and even if we could send a message, the nearest Federation ship is 2 weeks away. The connection between them pulsed stronger for a moment. Lily gasped as technical knowledge flooded her mind. Star maps, ship, designs, weapon systems. Her human brain struggled to contain it all. I'm sorry, Nix said quickly, placing a hand on Lily's arm. I need to control the flow better. Your mind is pulling in too much. It's okay, Lily said, though her head was pounding. I've always wanted to learn about what's out there, just maybe not all at once. They both smiled, and Lily realized how human Nix's expressions were. Through the merge, she understood why. Sentinels were trained to adapt to the cultures they protected. Nix had studied humans for years. A loud noise from outside made them both turn to the window. The scout ship was moving, dropping lower to hover just above the trees. They're preparing to land collectors, Nix said urgently. We need to move away from here. Where can we go? Lily asked. If they're scanning the whole area? The Asteria, Nix decided. Its shields are working, even though the engines aren't. Fully repaired. Once inside, we'll be hidden from their scans. Lily nodded. She quickly packed a small bag with some food, water, and a first aid kit. Through their connection, she felt Nix's approval. Practical thinking in a crisis. We'll need to move carefully, Nix said. The hunter-seekers can't detect me right now, but they still have basic vision sensors. They waited until the scout ship moved to the other side of the clearing, then slipped out the back door of the cabin. The rain had lightened to a drizzle, but the air felt strange, too still, too charged with energy. Moving from tree to tree, they made their way toward the Asteria. Twice they had to freeze in place as hunter-seekers floated past. Lily could feel Nix's nervousness through their connection. The alien woman might look calm on the outside, but inside she was terrified of being captured. They were halfway to the ship when bright beams of light shot down from the scout ship. Where the beams touched the ground, the soil and plants simply disappeared, leaving perfectly smooth craters. Collection beams, Nix explained in a whisper. They're taking samples. Lily felt sick. Samples of what? Everything. Soil, plants, insects. They analyze it all to determine the value of the world they're harvesting. The thought of people being collected, like soil samples, made Lily's stomach turn. Through their connection, she felt Nix's guilt and sadness. The Sentinel had seen this happen before on other worlds. They reached the edge of the clearing where the Asteria waited. The teardrop-shaped ship was now glowing softly with a blue light. According to the knowledge in Lily's borrowed memories, that meant the self-repair systems were working. "We need to cross this open space," Nix said, looking at the 30 feet of clearing between them and the ship. "Wait for my signal." They watched as collection beams continued to strike random spots around the forest. The scout ship moved slowly, methodically covering the area. "Now!" Nix whispered as the scout ship moved to the far side of the clearing. They ran for the Asteria. Nix held out the silver disc, and a doorway appeared in the side of the ship. They tumbled inside just as a hunter-seeker rounded the far side of the ship. Inside, the Asteria hummed with energy. Screens showed the scout ship's position and the locations of all the hunter-seekers. "We made it," Lily said, catching her breath. Nix moved quickly to a control panel. Her fingers danced over symbols that Lily could now partially understand through their connection. "The ship's shield is at 70%, Nix reported. "Enough to hide us from their scanners, but not enough to protect us if they decide to use weapons." "Will they do that?" Lily asked. "Not yet. They want to capture me alive to find out who I've contacted, and they want the crystal intact." Nix checked another screen. "Repairs are progressing. Engines will be online in 18 hours, Lily." Sat in one of the curved chairs that seemed to grow out of the ship's floor. The merge was still active, and she could feel Nix's relief at being back in her ship. "What happens after the ship is fixed?" Lily asked. "You leave?" Nix turned to her, and through their connection, Lily felt the conflict in her mind. "If I leave, I can get the crystal to the Federation. They can develop countermeasures against the star destabilizer." "But," Lily prompted, sensing there was more, "but the Void Collective will still harvest this area. They've already started the process." Nix's star-filled eyes looked troubled. "They might even follow me when I leave, bringing their main fleet here sooner." Lily tried to think through the implications. "So either way, Earth is in danger." "Yes. I'm sorry." Nix placed a hand on Lily's shoulder. "I never meant to bring this to your world." Through their connection, Lily suddenly realized something Nix wasn't saying. "There's another option, isn't there?" Lily asked. Nix was quiet for a moment. "Yes, but it would require a sacrifice." "What kind of sacrifice?" "The Asteria has weapons," Nix explained slowly. "Not powerful enough to destroy the scout ship, but enough to damage it. If we could prevent it from calling the main fleet." Lily understood. "You'd be stranded here, maybe for years before your people could find you." "Yes." Nix looked at the screens showing the scout ship. "And there's no guarantee it would work. We might both die in the attempt." The merge pulsed again, and Lily saw a clear image of Nix's home, a beautiful city built on massive floating platforms above an ocean. She felt Nix's longing to return there, to see her family again. "You'd give that up? Your home? Your people?" Lily asked. "To protect your world from immediate harvest?" "Yes." Nix's voice was firm. "It's what Sentinels do. We protect developing worlds, no matter the cost." Nix looked at Lily with surprise. "Fight? The scout ship has weapons that could turn this entire forest to ash in seconds. But they won't use them, right?" Lily pressed. "You said they want you and the crystal alive." Through their connection, Lily felt Nix's mind racing, considering possibilities. That's true, Nix admitted. They'll try capture before destruction, but we still don't have enough firepower to damage their ship significantly. Lily moved to one of the screens showing the scout ship. Thanks to the merge, she could now understand most of the symbols and readings. What about their communication systems? She asked. Could we block them from calling the main fleet? Nix's eyes widened. That might be possible. The Asteria has communication jammers, not powerful enough to affect their main systems, but if we could get close enough to their broadcast array. An alert sounded. On the screens, they could see the scout ship extending a large dish from its underside. They're scanning for the crystal's specific energy signature, Nix explained. It gives off a unique radiation that's hard to mask. Lily thought for a moment. Could we use that? Create a fake signature to lure them somewhere? A smile slowly spread across Nix's face. Lily Harper, you think like a sentinel. Through their connection, Lily felt Nix's genuine admiration. Yes, we could modify one of the Asteria's energy cells to mimic the crystal's signature. And then what? Lily asked. If we could get them to land their ship. Nix turned to another panel and brought up a detailed map of the area. There's a lake about 3 miles from here, deep enough that if their ship went down in it, they'd be trapped underwater. Lily finished the thought. Could their ship function underwater? Not well. Their engines use a form of controlled plasma that doesn't mix with large amounts of water. Nix was already working on one of the control panels. I can program the Asteria to create a decoy signature, but someone would need to place it by the lake. I'll do it, Lily said without hesitation. Nix paused her work. It would be dangerous if they catch you. They won't know I'm connected to you, Lily pointed out. I'll just look like a human in the wrong place at the wrong time. Through their connection, Lily felt Nix's concern battling with the logic of the plan. Finally, Nix nodded. We'll need to prepare carefully. She opened a compartment in the wall and pulled out a small silver cylinder about the size of a flashlight. This is an emergency beacon. I can modify it to emit the crystal's energy signature. As Nix worked on the beacon, Lily studied the screens showing the scout ship's position. It was still hovering above the clearing, its collection beams taking samples closer and closer to the Asteria. How long can your ship's shields hold? Lily asked. Against direct attack? Maybe 20 minutes? Against their scans? Several hours as long as we keep power usage low. Nix finished modifying the beacon and handed it to Lily. It's ready. When you reach the lake, push this button. It will activate the false signature. Lily took the beacon, feeling its weight in her hand. How will I get to the lake? It's 3 miles away. Nix hesitated, then walked to another part of the ship. A section of the wall slid open, revealing what looked like a small motorcycle without wheels. It hovered a few inches above the floor. A scout glider, Nix explained. Short range but fast and quiet. Do you think you can operate it? Lily was about to say no, but through their connection, she suddenly understood how the controls worked. Yes, she said, surprised at her own confidence. I can do it. Nix showed her how to lower the ship's shield just enough to exit without being detected. The moment you activate the beacon, the scout ship will detect it. You'll have maybe 5 minutes before they arrive at the lake. What will you be doing? Lily asked. Preparing the Asteria to attack their communications array once they're in position over the lake. Nix's expression was grim. If this works, they won't be able to call their fleet. If it doesn't... She didn't need to finish the sentence. They both knew what failure would mean. Lily changed into darker clothes from her bag to blend better with the night. The rain had stopped, but the clouds still covered the moon and stars, making it very dark outside. Be careful, Nix said as Lily prepared to leave. The hunter-seekers are still out there. Through their connection, Lily felt a strong wave of concern from Nix, not just for the mission, but for Lily personally. The merge had created a bond between them that went beyond their shared goal. I'll be fine, Lily assured her. She mounted the scout glider, which hummed softly beneath her. See you at the lake. Nix lowered the shield just enough to create a small opening. Lily guided the glider out into the night and immediately accelerated into the trees, staying low to the ground. The glider was incredibly responsive, almost like it could read her thoughts. In a way, Lily realized it could. The merge was giving her access to Nix's knowledge and muscle memory of how to operate the alien vehicle. Twice she had to stop and hide as hunter-seekers passed overhead. Their green scanning beams swept through the trees, but they weren't looking for human life signs, only Nix's unique energy pattern. Lily followed a small stream that she knew led to the lake. The glider moved silently through the forest, barely disturbing the leaves as it passed. Through the merge, she could sense Nix back at the ship, monitoring the scout ship's movements and preparing the Asteria's systems. After about 20 minutes of careful navigation, Lily reached the shore of the lake. It was a large, natural lake, surrounded by trees with a small clearing on one side. Perfect for what they needed. Lily guided the glider to the middle of the clearing and dismounted. She placed the silver beacon on a flat rock near the water's edge. Her hand hovered over the activation button. Once she pressed it, there would be no turning back. Through their connection, she felt Nix's voice in her mind. "I'm ready. The Asteria is prepared to move as soon as they take the bait." Lily took a deep breath and pressed the button. The beacon hummed to life, glowing with a soft purple light. She quickly mounted the glider and moved it into the trees at the edge of the clearing, hiding herself from view. For a minute, nothing happened. Then Lily heard it, a change in the distant humming of the scout ship. It was moving, coming toward the lake. Through the merge, she could feel Nix's tension. The sentinel was guiding the Asteria out of its hiding place, keeping to the tree line and using the terrain for cover. 2 minutes later, the scout ship appeared over the lake. It was massive, at least 300 feet across, its flat disk, shaped dark against the cloudy sky. Lights around its rim pulsed with an eerie rhythm. The ship hovered directly above the beacon, which continued to emit its false signal. A bright spotlight from the ship's underside illuminated the small silver cylinder on the rock. "They're scanning it now." Nix's voice came through their connection. "Get ready. Once they realize it's a decoy, they'll search the area." Lily gripped the glider's controls, ready to move at a moment's notice. Through the merge, she could feel Nix guiding the Asteria into position, staying just below the tree line on the opposite side of the lake. The scout ship descended lower, now hovering, just 50 feet above the water. A small hatch opened on its underside and a collection beam shot down, surrounding the beacon with a cylinder of light. The beacon floated upward into the beam, slowly rising toward the ship. "Now!" Nix's voice rang in Lily's mind. The Asteria burst from the trees on the far side of the lake, rising quickly into the air. It fired a series of bright energy pulses directly at the scout ship's communication array, a dish-like structure on the top of the vessel. The scout ship reacted immediately, the collection beam disappearing as it turned to face this new threat. The beacon fell back to the ground, its purple glow fading. Lily watched in awe as the two alien ships engaged above the lake. The Asteria was much smaller, but incredibly fast, darting around the larger ship like a hummingbird around a hawk. Energy weapons fired from both vessels, lighting up the night sky. Through their connection, Lily could feel Nix's intense concentration as she piloted her ship. The Asteria took a hit to one side, causing it to spin briefly before Nix regained control. "Their communications array is damaged," Nix reported through their mental link, "but not destroyed. I need to hit it again." The Asteria swooped in for another attack run, firing directly at the dish on top of the scout ship. This time the dish exploded in a shower of sparks and debris. "Got it." Nix's triumph flowed through their connection. They can't call for reinforcements now. But their victory was short-lived. The scout ship fired a wide-angle energy beam that caught the Asteria squarely, sending it tumbling toward the lake. "Nix!" Lily shouted, both aloud and through their link. "I'm still here," came the strained reply. "But the ship is damaged. Flight controls are failing." The Asteria was losing altitude, smoke trailing from one side. The scout ship moved to position itself above the smaller vessel, readying another attack. Without thinking, Lily started the glider and shot out from the trees, racing across the clearing toward the lake. She didn't have a plan, only the desperate need to help Nyx. As she reached the shore, a new sound cut through the night. Engines. Not alien engines, but the rumble of human vehicles. Bright headlights appeared through the trees as several black SUVs drove into the clearing. The government team worked through the night, setting up a secure perimeter around the lake and the damaged Asteria. Floodlights illuminated the area, turning the once dark forest into a hive of activity. Lily and Nyx stayed close to each other, their merged minds still sharing thoughts and feelings. Kate had set up a command center in one of the larger vehicles. Inside, screens showed the sunken scout ship from multiple angles. Small underwater drones circled the alien vessel, monitoring for any signs of activity. The ship's energy readings are fluctuating, Kate explained, pointing to one of the screens. They're trying to restore power. How long until they can get the ship operational again? Lily asked. Nyx answered, studying the readings. Their main engines are flooded. That will take days to repair. But their secondary systems, including weapons, could be online within hours. Kate nodded grimly. Then we need to be gone before that happens. She turned to one of her team members. How's the evacuation of the surrounding area going? Complete, ma'am, the agent reported. We've cleared everyone within a 5-mile radius under the cover of a chemical spill story. Good. Kate looked at Nyx. Now, about getting a message to your Federation. What do you need to repair your ship's communication system? Nyx described several specialized components. To Lily's surprise, Kate seemed to understand most of what Nyx was talking about. We have similar technology, Kate explained, seeing Lily's expression. Reverse engineered from previous encounters. Through their connection, Lily felt Nyx's thoughts racing. The Federation had always believed Earth was unaware of extraterrestrial life, but clearly, some humans knew much more than they let on. Can provide what you need, Kate continued. But I need assurances that your Federation will help us against the Void Collective. The Federation protects developing worlds, Nyx said. Once they know the Collective has targeted Earth, they will intervene. Kate seemed satisfied with this answer. Dr. Morgan, she called to a scientist working nearby, please assist our guest with the components she needs. As Nyx went with Dr. Morgan to examine the available equipment, Kate took Lily aside. Professor Harper, what exactly is your connection to the alien? Our sensors detected some kind of energy link between you two. Lily hesitated, unsure how much to reveal. Through the merge, she felt Nyx's cautious approval to share the truth. We did a biological merge, Lily explained. It helped hide Nyx from the hunter-seekers, and we can share thoughts now. See each other's memories. Kate's eyes widened slightly. Fascinating. Is it permanent? No, Lily said, feeling a strange sadness at this fact. It should last about another day. Kate studied her carefully. And after that? What are your plans? The question caught Lily off guard. She hadn't thought that far ahead. Everything had happened so quickly. I don't know, she admitted. Go back to my life, I guess. After knowing what's out there? Kate gestured to the lake where the alien ship lay half submerged. After connecting with an extraterrestrial mind, could you really go back to teaching astronomy and pretending none of this happened? The truth was, Lily couldn't imagine returning to her old life. Through the merge, she had glimpsed wonders beyond human understanding, civilizations among the stars, technology centuries beyond Earth's capabilities, life forms of incredible diversity. We could use someone with your unique perspective, Kate continued. Someone who has literally shared a mind with an alien ally. You're offering me a job? Lily asked, surprised. More like a partnership. Our division works to prepare humanity for eventual contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. Someone who's experienced that contact firsthand would be invaluable. Before Lily could respond, an alarm sounded from the command center. One of the agents called out urgently. Movement from the scout ship. They're deploying something. Everyone rushed to the screens. The underwater drones showed a section of the scout ship opening, releasing what looked like small torpedoes into the lake. Hunter-seekers, Nick said, returning quickly to the command center. Underwater version, they're looking for the crystal. Can they detect it? Kate asked. Yes, but right now it's masked by our combined energy signatures, Nix explained, touching the small silver disc still attached to her temple. As long as the merge is active, they'll have trouble finding it. On the screens, the underwater hunter-seekers spread out, moving in search patterns through the lake. We need to leave, Kate decided. Dr. Morgan, do you have the components needed? Yes, ma'am. Already loaded in transport too. Good. Let's move out. Kate turned to Lily and Nix. We have a secure facility about 30 miles from here. We can repair your ship there and send your message. The team moved with practiced efficiency, packing up equipment and loading vehicles. Nix's ship, the Asteria, was carefully lifted onto a special transport vehicle designed for moving aircraft. As they prepared to leave, Lily took one last look at her cabin in the distance. Just yesterday, it had been her quiet retreat from the Kya world. Now it seemed like a relic from another life entirely. You're thinking about everything that's changed, Nick said beside her, the merge allowing her to sense Lily's thoughts. Hard not to, Lily replied. Yesterday I was just an astronomy professor on sabbatical. Today I'm merged with an alien, running from underwater hunter-seekers and being recruited by a secret government agency. Nick smiled, her star-filled eyes reflecting the floodlights. Life can change in unexpected ways. My mission was simple: observe and report on void collective movements. Now I'm in open conflict with them, allied with humans and... She paused. Through their connection, Lily felt what Nix didn't say, the unexpected bond that had formed between them, deeper than either had anticipated. Time to go, Kate called from one of the vehicles. Lily and Nix joined her in the lead SUV. As they drove away from the lake, Lily watched through the rear window as the underwater hunter-seekers began emerging onto the shore, their mechanical forms glistening in the moonlight. The convoy of vehicles traveled through the night, taking back roads to avoid attention. Nix explained more about the Federation to Kate, while Lily tried to process everything that had happened. Through the merge, memories continued to flow between them. Lily saw Nix's training as a sentinel, her first solo mission, the loneliness of deep space travel. Nix saw Lily's childhood fascination with stars, her struggles in academia, the recent heartbreak that had sent her to the isolated cabin. We're here, Kate announced as the convoy turned onto a private road leading to what looked like an ordinary research facility. Only the heavy security and the military presence suggested it was anything special. Inside, Nix's ship was moved to a large hangar. Dr. Morgan and a team of scientists immediately began working with Nix to repair the communication system. Lily found herself in a small conference room with Kate, who spread out a series of documents on the table. These are reports of void collective sightings over the past 5 years, Kate explained. We've been tracking them, but this is the first direct confrontation we've had. Lily looked through the reports, recognizing some of the locations and events from news stories she'd read, unexplained phenomena that had been dismissed as weather anomalies or military exercises. How long has your division existed? Lily asked. In its current form? About 20 years, Kate said. But various agencies have been monitoring extraterrestrial activity since the 1940s. A scientist entered the conference room. Agent Summers, the repairs are progressing well. The alien, the Sentinel, estimates the communication system will be operational within 4 hours. Good. Keep me updated. After the scientist left, Kate turned back to Lily. Your friend is quite impressive. Our best engineers are struggling to keep up with her. She's had centuries of technological development that we haven't, Lily pointed out. True, which is why alliances with advanced civilizations like the Federation are so important. Kate leaned forward. Have you considered my offer? We need someone who understands both sides. Before Lily could answer, she felt a sharp pain through the merge. Nix was in distress. Without explanation, Lily rushed from the room, following, the connection to find Nix. She found the sentinel in the hangar leaning against her ship, clearly in pain. Blue blood trickled from her nose. "What's wrong?" Lily asked, rushing to her side. "The merge," Nix gasped. "It's becoming unstable. Your mind has absorbed too much information too quickly." Lily felt it now, a pressure building inside her head, like her brain was trying to contain more than it was designed for. Through their connection, she could feel Nix's concern and guilt. "I should have monitored the flow better," Nix said. "Human minds aren't meant to process so much alien knowledge at once." Dr. Morgan approached them. "Is everything all right?" "We were making good progress on the repairs. We need to end the merge soon," Nix explained. "It's becoming dangerous for Lily." "But the crystal," Lily protested. "Without the merge, the hunter-seekers will be able to detect it." "We'll find another way to mask it," Nix insisted. "I won't risk your mind." Kate joined them, having followed Lily from the conference room. "What's happening?" Dr. Morgan explained the situation. Kate immediately took charge. "Dr. Morgan, is there a way to shield the crystal's energy signature without the merge?"